Scared.
Hello, sweet peas. Hi.
It probably won't be that long, I guess, actually.
I don't know.
It depends on how much we talk. But,
Welcome
welcome to our little Q&A video.
Welcome to the Q&A. Welcome to the podcast.
This is, specifically, like, fertility Q&As.
Yes. There were other Q&A type questions that have been asked that are kind of things that we've, like, answered before.
I don't mind answering things twice,
No,
but I do
no.
think, like, it's important that we, like, kind of have our fertility stuff separate. So that if you're seeking it out on purpose, you can find it. And if you're avoiding it on purpose, you can avoid it.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
Do you want to talk about what we're doing this coming weekend?
Yeah, so our third insemination weekend is not, like, tomorrow, but next weekend.
Yeah, because it's Saturday right now.
Yeah.
So in a week, we will have inseminated again.
Yeah. Yep, so that is good. This one's a little more of a serious try, just because, like, both of my apps are saying about the same dates. They're still not saying the exact same dates, which has me, like, a little worried about it, but there's not much I can do about that.
No.
So, yeah, we're inseminating. Right now, the average peak, if I were to take it between my two apps, would be Sunday. But our donor is not available on Sunday for my peak day. So we're inseminating Friday night and Saturday morning.
But the sperm can live for, like, 5 days.
Yeah.
in the
Also,
body,
when we were successful on our first one, we were technically 2 days late from my peak day, and we're, we did get pregnant.
Yeah.
So,
So we're feeling fine about that.
yeah. So, keep us in your
Keep us in your vibes.
prayers, vibes, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, our very sweet friend, Lexi Games,
Yeah.
inseminated via IUI today.
Yeah.
So just like if the stars were to align for both of us to have successful inseminations this month,
Yeah.
like a week apart, that would be very
Can you
spicy.
imagine matching redheaded babies living
That would
across
be
the United States from each other?
Very spicy.
That would be so spicy. It would be too much fun.
But, obviously, we just hope that, everything goes well for
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, absolutely.
And if this isn't our cycle, then we'll have another one.
My glasses are so dirty.
Well, you don't need to read.
They're just smudgy. I don't need to see.
Mm-mm.
Okay, do you want to get into the questions?
Yes.
So we asked on TikTok if people had questions for us.
We also have smoothies that we're drinking.
I'm just really quick going to make sure that this actually is recording because I have anxiety. Incredible. It's going. It's good. We're good. Okay. Questions. Okay, first question.
Mm-hmm.
How did you decide on your donor? / how did you ask them to be a donor?
Okay. I feel like this is a question mostly for you.
Yeah.
You asked this person before we met.
Yes.
In theory, if you were to marry a woman who wanted to be pregnant,
Yeah.
they would be your donor.
If I was going to marry anybody who wanted to be pregnant at the time, was
That's
the
true,
conversation
yeah.
was, hey, you have some sperm. Have you considered? And at the time, this person who I've known a very long time, many, many years,
Yeah.
was like, that is stupid. No. And I was like, okay.
How old were you the first time you asked them, though?
I think
like 14?
No, because I wasn't out at 14. I was
Oh.
like 17 or 18.
Much older.
Yeah. I think that's much older.
I mean, it's not much older.
No, but it's not 14,
No, that's
right?
true, I guess.
And so at the time, he was like, stupid. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then when Morgan and I got together and Morgan really wanted to be pregnant, I kind of more seriously to this person was like, hey.
This person is closer to my age than Phoebe's age.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, like, now they do know a bit more about just, like, first of all, the options that are available to queer couples who want to conceive who don't have both ingredients.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. And I would say that we're closer now than we were
Yeah.
when I was 18, which I think helps. But also I think it's something that they have considered.
I think they
now.
also think that we would be, like, really good parents.
Oh,
and so
yeah,
they do wanna help us
yeah.
out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this person, is someone who is so close to us that they're kind of going to exist essentially. They will be at holidays.
They will be part of our, family
Yes.
as we're raising the kiddo
Not
and stuff.
in a parent type way.
No, they will not be
Even a little bit.
the baby's parent.
No.
No, but they will, like, probably, like, babysit and...
Yeah, and hang
out
out
with
and
them.
vibe. Yes. And yeah, I guess for other couples, I think that there is sometimes this, like, fear around like what if this person like changes their mind or decides like, you know, that they don't want anything to do with this kid, that they like don't want to meet them, even though this is someone who is starting out not as an anonymous donor, right? Like anonymous to the internet, but not anonymous to, you know, our family and our baby.
Not anonymous to us, not anonymous to the baby.
Yeah, just mysterious to other people.
Yeah.
And I guess, like, I would say that, like, if that were to happen, like, that would really suck. But, like, straight couples, there are deadbeat dads all the time. And this wouldn't even be close to that.
Yeah.
Because our kid's going to have two parents that really love them and really care about them. So if, like, their, like, biological, you know, other half of their genetics person all of a sudden is doing some shady shit, or which I don't expect from this person, like by any means. But I like that isn't. That's not something I'm worried about.
Yes.
But this is again really specific to our situation, so I understand why other couples, why that's something that they're concerned about.
Also, something that people are really always like worried about is like legally, will this person have any claim?
Yeah.
And they don't in the state of Oregon.
No.
Like Phoebe and I will both be on the birth certificate.
Right, which doesn't really do anything except for it's nice that we're on the birth certificate. It can help to sort of like prove like parentage, but legally the birth certificate doesn't do much. But in Oregon, literally like sperm donor laws are set up in such a way that so sorry, I'm burping smoothie. That like the child has no right to the donor and the donor has no right to the child unless the person who was inseminated and the donor were at one point married.
Right.
Which I think is fun that they had to add in that clause there.
So if me and the donor ever secretly got married and then divorced.
Yeah.
Before the baby was born.
I believe so, yes.
Then
there was like a very
that
chaotic...
is the only way that he would have had any...
Right. A very chaotic bisexual pregnant person
there must have been.
Is the reason that law is so specific for sure. And I love that for them. But for us, not relevant. I think that probably eventually we'll do second parent adoption, which is essentially because the child will biologically be Morgan's egg, obviously, and will not have any like technical biological tie to me. It costs like $5,000, like $2,000 to $5,000 to adopt your own kid as a queer couple, which is super annoying. Which is why in Oregon it's set up so you don't have to do that. But if we were gonna move,
or if we like were to move to another country, like we have no idea what the laws of that country would look like.
You know, elections were looking spicy. So it just as like a safety precaution, it's something we'll do, but everybody's like, what's your legality? What's your like contract with this person? And it's like, we don't have one and like we're not worried about it.
Yeah.
That being said, if this is something that you're looking into, it's very important.
I know like California is a state where like you can literally Google like sperm donor like contract and they have like a set one for like the state of California that you can like find online that they can sign.
There's a bunch of websites that'll like make up contracts, but it's just something that would be unnecessarily expensive and like literally
because you have to get it like notarized and stuff.
But it would not further prove anything. It wouldn't do anything for us. So for us, it's just not worth it to make anybody sign anything.
Yeah,
you know, because that just seems
at least not now. No.
Yeah. Will we stay in our current apartment?
So maybe.
We're not sure.
I think we've talked about it on stream, but ideally we would love if we're like very close with Phoebe's parents. Yeah. And so ideally we would love if they get like a bigger home, like a much bigger home, and we could like pay rent to them and we could all live together
and essentially pay about the same amount of rent that we do in an apartment, but
we have
my
like
parents all the time.
Way cooler roommates, and like be splitting, you know, and like bills are more expensive in a house, but like we'd be splitting them with other people,
right? And it would, I think it would be worth it because I think that the way that my parents work and the way that we work, I think would be like a really good like cohesive unit.
I think we're excellent like cohabitators.
Yeah.
We would be, especially, and I think all of us have different strengths that would like all complement each other very well.
Absolutely. I think there are definitely aspects of it that would become more difficult, but like childcare is built in immediately to that, which is killer. And also like, you know,
also there's just more people to like love the baby and like
meet the baby's needs immediately. And like I really like cooking. Morgan takes a lot of pride and organizational serotonin in like keeping things clean, you know. And so, you know, I think that it's just something that would help them out as well as help us out. Like it was like it's just like
the housing market's absolutely bonkers.
It's really spicy.
So
right
they
now.
may not like find a house for another like 2 years. We have no idea. So like our current apartment, the way that it's set up, like we absolutely could have probably a toddler in here.
Yeah, if you're watching us on the YouTube, this is our streaming room that used to be our bedroom. This is a 1-bedroom apartment. And right now our bed is in the living room. So
we actually have an apartment tour on YouTube.
We do, if you'd like to
like to watch it.
If you'd like to see it. But like a crib could be in here.
Yeah.
Like it's right now it's like a closet, Morgan's work from home streaming closet. So we could, I mean, if we needed to,
we could make it a nursery
absolutely
/ closet.
Yeah, babies don't take up that much space.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff, but you could just buy them less stuff.
Yeah, we also could get rid of some of our stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff too.
Wouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, we're not really sure for that one essentially, but it is a fun question and a very fair question. Somebody said you have tips for trying to conceive with an irregular cycle.
I don't know if I have any like tips.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have an irregular cycle.
Yeah. I mean, the only like tip is like, we're lucky enough to have been gifted a keg, which we made like a video for on TikTok that got taken down because you're not allowed to talk about, bodies on TikTok.
It's weird shit.
But it's called Keg, Kegg. And it's like a little robot that you stick up inside of you and it reads your cervical fluids in real time.
Yeah.
But it is a really cool little robot. It's expensive. I do think it's super helpful
worth it
to
if it's
us.
Yeah.
If you have the money, it's a nice little tool. It's not the only like robot like that on the market. There's also Mira.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other ones that might be like cheaper.
Also, Keg literally specifically says if you have an irregular cycle, this may not be the thing for you.
Yeah, it just depends on how it's
a
irregular
cycle. Yeah. So like Morgan has a long cycle. She's like a 33-day cycle.
So basically, and also like, so the average person who menstruates has a 28-day cycle. That's like the average number, which is 4 even weeks. Mine is 33 days. But even though I have 33 days, some people might also have 33 days, but we might have completely different cycles because you might have like extra days after your period before you ovulate, or you might have like an extra long period, or you might, you know what I mean? So like,
it's all different.
So I would definitely say just like staying on top of it. Personally, I feel like you can't test your ovulation too much. The like pre-mom strips that you can get on Amazon has a free app. And, like, some people I know with irregular cycles literally started testing, like, 3 times a day, like, morning, noon, and night.
Yeah. And Morgan's doing 2 times a day.
Yeah, so I'm doing morning and night.
And I've heard that it's your second P that's supposed to be, like, the most accurate one.
It's just nice to know, because some people literally, if they've been, like, trying for months and months, will try to, like inseminate literally the moment that they are, like, at peak.
And sperm
lives so sometimes that's like at midnight. And so
for sure.
So like, but that's you're usually only getting like that specific if you've been trying just like doing the same day or the day before for a while and nothing's really going your way. But
much more stressful if you are a queer person who has frozen sperm.
Yes.
Because then, like, the timing's really specific. Sometimes you have to do it at a doctor's office. That's one thing that I will say that is nice about if you were to do it in a doctor's office is that they will either do, like, a medicated cycle for you so that they know exactly when and you, like, take the shot to be ovulating and other things like that. For us, that's not what we're doing because it's called live sperm, which I think is really funny, but it just means that it's, like, fresh.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's fresh.
There's
fresh from
some private time that's spent in a hotel room without Morgan and I, and then we come in and take the coffee.
Yeah,
is essentially what that means. But it has like a higher percentage of working, and also you don't have to go to a doctor's office to use it.
Yeah, but I mean, like if we try for a while.
Oh yeah,
and still aren't getting pregnant, then I think we would look at like medicated IUI or things like that.
Absolutely, we're just doing like the cheap way for now because as far as we know, there's no issues with us doing the cheap way. And it's also a good sign that Morgan got pregnant, like literally the first time we ever inseminated. So basically no tips with there are also like lots of like Facebook groups. Yeah,
I would say definitely joining like a trying to conceive Facebook group. I'm in 2 online. One is queer specific and one is not. Also, like if you're not a big Facebook group person, that's super fair. There is a lot of like drama in these groups. Not between members, but usually some member like complaining about their husband or spouse or whoever. So if you like to hear like really spicy stories, it's also really interesting.
Yeah.
But also there's like really good advice, and it's super nice to not feel like alone, especially like if someone's like, hey, I'm 6 weeks today and I'm spotting, and like immediately 4 people are like, oh, same thing happened to me. I'm 38 weeks now. Like,
Yeah. That's really nice for like immediate, like in your face interaction. What I will also say is there is a company that we have sort of like a little bit like done some stuff with in the past. They're called Y'all. I think it's eventually going to be an app, but right now they have an Instagram account and they're going through and like sharing stories of queer people who are trying to conceive. And they just have a lot of really cool resources, and their story shares, like they share cool things. Is it Fat Fertility is the other person that I follow? Do you follow her?
I think it's Fat and Fertile.
Oh, Fat and Fertile? No,
I don't
that's
remember.
the book. But there are lots of like Instagram accounts, like other things of like places that you can look to for
Or like
resources.
if you have like PCOS specifically,
Yeah,
there's a PCOS TTC group.
Absolutely. Mosey Baby has a lot of really good blog posts. Basically all of these places, I think it's really nice. It's like very stressful to be trying to conceive, and everybody knows that.
There's a lot of different like communities.
Yes.
And if you find one and it's too stressful for you, you can dip out and find another
pick
one.
a different one. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What parent name will Phoebe have? What a good question.
This is probably our most asked
It's
question.
definitely our most asked question.
By
I think it's
strangers on the street, it seems.
Yeah, the second people meet me and they find out that Morgan is trying to get pregnant and that we're married, they're like, what will they call you? And the true answer is that I don't really care.
I think it'll be really funny if the baby does call Phoebe Daddy.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
I think it'll be cute.
I would be comfortable with that. That would be fine. I don't want the baby to call me mom or mommy.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's not...
That's
or
really the
mama.
only things that aren't for you, though. Is
Yeah.
like all the iterations of mother.
Yeah, I think that like Peehee would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It's what my friends started calling me when we were not working at Disney World during the pandemic. I don't even remember because you were like,
I was Hannah, I think, who misspoke. And
said
instead
Phoebe.
of
oh shit.
instead of saying Phoebe, said Peehee, and everyone said Peehee, Peehee.
Yeah.
And that's how I got started.
Yeah. So for like months, like that was my name. People were only calling me Peehee, and it was hilarious.
So I do think it'd be funny if the baby called you Peehee.
Yeah.
Peehee.
I think that one's fun.
I think what'll probably happen is they'll call you PP.
Probably. They can't for a long time though, because I don't want that to be my parent name, because then they'll get made fun of.
Yeah.
They can't say my PP.
Yeah.
That would be a problem. So, so we'll see. But I'm not too worried about it. BB, I think, is also cute. Okay, are we going to share baby names? No.
No.
What's the vibe of the baby names?
Oh, that's true. I think we've already said that we like... So Phoebe's name was most popular in like 1922, something like that, 1918. So I think it'd be really fun if our baby's name was like from like a name that was popular around that time as well.
Yeah.
So we definitely are looking at a lot of like old names. We've got a couple of names from like nerdy culture, musical theater culture.
Yeah.
Phoebe doesn't like the name Reno, as in
I
Reno Sweeney.
Hate the name Reno.
So if you are having a baby and are considering a name, perhaps Reno, because my husband doesn't like it.
Morgan, if it was up to me, we would have shared the baby names. Morgan is really superstitious about a lot of things, but she really doesn't want anyone stealing baby names from us.
I also we didn't like when we were pregnant the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give the like growing embryo any names because I didn't want any names ruined.
That's what their name is, the Blueberry.
And I am glad that we did that because now like it's not a name that we need to cross off or anything, which we weren't that far along. So like
No.
it is kind of unusual to be picking a name that early anyway.
We're just excited.
But yeah, so I am like glad. So I would probably still wait. I think I might tell people the name once we were like 7 or 8 months, but even then we might wait till they're born.
I don't know. Maybe just for the drama.
Yeah.
I think the thing that's kind of fun as like a content creator is that people like really care what the baby name is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that like when we reveal it, it'll be a big deal. In line with that, I don't know if we have any questions about it. Yeah, no. We've talked about it a little bit before, but we're definitely not going to shift into making like queer parent content.
Yeah.
I to take that back, we'll definitely make content about being parents. I don't think we're going to make as much, like we won't be making content about the baby.
Yeah.
Like the baby will be like a fun cameo every once in a while.
We don't want like it is important that like the baby can't like consent to being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the way that it, if there is like kiddos, even when they're 4, they can't consent to being put on the internet because they don't understand what that means. So as the parent and as the caretaker, like you are the one like guarding that baby's consent, right? And so that's something that we take really seriously.
But also we're not gonna not ever post them.
Right.
I do think that like our like it won't be like a secret what they look like or anything.
Yeah.
But like our plan at least is not to post about them all the time.
No.
Now, my close friend story of people that I know in real life,
definitely.
it's going to be absolutely filled with baby content.
Which I think is what, like...
But that's exactly what close friend stories are for.
And I think that's what new parents do.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
no.
Like, so yes. I think also in the content that we do choose to share very selectively about the baby, it will be something that we've really thought through and very carefully done. I just recently, have you seen that TikTok that was like the kind of content that very stressful folks who are looking for content of babies are looking for, and it's like in states of undress, like bath time, potty time, like napping, and then it was like the thing that most influencer moms post, and it was like bath time, in states of undress, potty time, napping. So it's like definitely, I think we're going to do our like research going into it and make sure that the things that we're posting, obviously you can't control where images go, which is the other stressful thing, but like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's something we're going to be really cautious of and we're very aware of in terms of safety for our family and for our kiddo. So, yes. Okay, moving on. How did you decide that you were ready for children?
I think we've been ready for a while, emotionally.
Yeah.
I would say so originally our plan when we like got engaged was that we were going to be married for a year and then maybe start trying, and that was when we were planning on basically being in Disney World for the rest of our lives. So we were hoping that we would be like leaders by then, which I think we maybe could have been had there not been a pandemic.
Which is like managers at Disney World.
Yeah. So we thought we'd be making enough money, which like actually turns out I don't think the managers are making that much money. But
no.
So that was our plan, and then when the whole world shut down, somebody's screaming, a little truck scream. And we moved out here, and everything was really stressful, and we were, like, planning a wedding and all of that. That was all incredibly stressful, but also, like, it was the first time that we had, like, support, because Phoebe's family's out here. Not, like, ever, because obviously they were very supportive while we were in Florida. But
but it's different to be
a place to just drive 30 minutes.
No, and hug your dad. Like, that's very different than, like, FaceTiming my dad sobbing on the phone saying, like, does this make sense for us to buy this car?
Yeah.
We have to get a car. You know what I mean? Like,
and, like, living in a place with, like, not just Phoebe's parents, but also, like, all of Phoebe's family. We also have, like, a lot of friends out here.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're making way more money at our current job than we ever were going to at Disney World.
Yeah, so I was making $14.50 as essentially a supervisor at Epcot, and I think they just upped it, so it might be like $15.50 now or like $16, but we're making $21.50 hourly at our office job now.
And it's our first year there.
Yeah.
So
I'm in my first 3 months.
Yeah, so it's only gonna go up,
right?
Because they do like yearly raises
for sure, which not
by much. It's like a quarter every year, I think. But like
no, and also that they do it by performance too. Though,
yeah,
you know what I mean, which is not what Disney does.
No,
at all. So
well, that's kind of what they do in guest relations.
Oh, okay.
Because I got up pretty fast.
Not as a cord though. Like I was there working with cords who were making $18 an hour because they'd been there for 30 years. Yeah, and it's like, oh fuck. Like, that's, and also cost of living in Central Florida is like absurd.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're much more comfortable now in a lot of different ways. We wouldn't have ever been able to do streaming if we didn't move out to Oregon.
Yeah.
Like
also, our donor lives out here.
I didn't know that we were going to announce that, but yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
Oh well, I think it'd be silly to. I figured
that's true. I forgot.
Lived.
I forgot.
That it doesn't live in our city, but like does live out here.
That does make sense.
So, like, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been much more stressful to have them fly
oh my God.
to Florida or us fly to Oregon.
No.
Like, that would have been
terrible.
I think if that's what we were doing, we probably would have started with IUI, just so that it was, like...
quick
and, like, with the medicated.
But even then, like, we would have never had money for IUI.
No, but Disney does.
That's true.
They pay for half of it, I think.
That's very true.
If you're a cast member. Which is much better. Like, Disney does not do a lot of things right, but that's much better than most places, which won't pay for, like, fertility help until you've had either 3 miscarriages or you've been trying for, a year or 2 years.
Yeah.
Insurance won't cover.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
anything.
It just depends. But yeah, so we weren't in a good place, and I don't think we were ever going to be in a place, I don't know. Like, we would have made it work. But, like, anyway, we're just, I think, like, fresh in our minds the stress that was happening to us a year and a half ago, it is easy to say, like, oh, we can fucking make this work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it's something we both wanted, like, our whole lives.
Yeah.
So we've already been waiting, 20 plus years.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. Emotionally, yeah, we've just always wanted to be parents. So I don't really know about that part as much. We kind of already did any legal issues with having a sperm donor.
Not
so much in our situation.
Obviously, if you're in a different state,
definitely look into it. Even if you're in Oregon, look into it. Like, do your own research. It's important. What parenting roles do you think you'll each take on?
I don't know what kind of question that is.
I think it means, like, who's gonna, like...
Are they asking if you're gonna breastfeed? Sometimes that's what people are asking.
I don't think that's what they're asking. I think they're saying, like, who's gonna stay home, who's gonna be the strict one, who's gonna...
Oh. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think ideally we'd both like to stay home. The problem is we both want to be a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah. Well, but realistically...
I think realistically...
It'll be Morgan.
I will be staying home. Only doing, like, influencer Twitch stuff.
Yeah. So
while Phoebe is still
working.
having, like, a work, like, 9 to 5 for a while.
Hopefully from home would be perfect. But if we can't make that happen, then that's,
Yeah. And then, I don't know. I think the great thing, not the problem, the great thing is that we both excel at, like, such vastly different things.
Yeah.
I'm really excellent with, like, younger than 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable with that.
Yeah.
They don't speak English yet. They're just trying their best.
Yeah.
I'm right there with them.
My favorite...
Phoebe's excellent at, like, 7 and above.
Yeah. That's my favorite. When they're, like, full of questions.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't understand how anything works. And they, like, want to know about the whole world.
And, like, neither of us are bad at...
No,
you know what I mean? But, like, we both have, like, different...
But I think I'm probably
that we spent more time with.
Yeah. I think I'm probably going to be the one that the kiddo goes to ask, like, really personal, like, body questions or, like, other things like that.
Also, like, if our kid, like, was, like, trans or...
yeah.
Anything like that, it's nice to have Phoebe who's been through...
Similarly, if our child had depression
or was doing some stuff...
We know the signs to look for.
Yes, in
terms of, like, different kinds of trauma.
Yes.
So, like, for instance, like, I was in an emotionally abusive relationship in high school. So, like, I know what that looks like pretty clearly from the exterior. Morgan has some other kinds of trauma that she's aware of, what they look like from the exterior. Obviously, hopefully we'll be able to protect our child from ever experiencing those things.
Right.
But I think it's people also had been like, oh, do you think with how, like, mentally ill the two of you are that you're going to do a bad job? And I was like, no, I feel like that actually makes us way better prepared.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most parents are mentally ill, but they don't realize it, right? So, like, I
am in therapy.
Yeah,
and the whole reason not the whole reason, but a huge reason why I wanted to be in therapy before we started trying to conceive was, like, because I know that, like, when you have your own trauma with your own parents, that, like, it makes... like, reparenting yourself while parenting a child at the same time, like, difficult.
Yeah.
And so I think we're also at an advantage with that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Oh, parenting roles. I cook.
Yeah.
Morgan cleans.
I'm a cleaner.
I clean also.
I'm big on, like,
can cook also.
Like, I'm good with, like, pre-planning, type A type stuff. I'm also good with, like, creating a new plan when the first plan doesn't go well. Phoebe is excellent at, like, emotional...
Oh, that's nice.
Like,
I'm really good at holding hair when somebody's throwing up.
Yeah.
All of those kind of, like in the moment comforting things. I've had a lot of panic attacks and I've comforted a lot of people having panic attacks. I really thrive taking care of people when they're sick. So, like, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I think Morgan's going to be the one who's like, this is what our 8-year-old's absurdly over-the-top sleepover birthday weekend is going to look like.
Yeah.
And here are the themed snacks.
Yeah, I'm excited to be, like, a
things.
PTA parent.
Yeah, yeah.
Stuff like that. And I think also it'll be nice, like we do complement each other so well. I think it'll be really nice for our kid to have both, like, someone they can ask, like, my boyfriend wants to do more than kissing, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that. And I think they could talk to both of us about that.
For sure.
I think it'll be nice that they have, like, two vastly different
options.
Not yes,
Yeah.
like not opinions because we're both gonna like have the same
similar kind of like
content.
Yeah.
But like vastly different
ways of delivering that content.
Yes. And like you need both of those things. Like I think
Yeah.
sometimes you do need a parent to be brutally honest with you and be like, you know, this is going to be really hard. Like, you know, do you still want to do this thing? And I think also you need a parent who's like, you promised you would, you know, do this for your friend. Like, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Like, you know, be, what's the word that I want? Not like loyal, but like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not present.
Not present. You know what I mean? Like, follow through on something that you said you would do.
Yeah.
And then also having a parent who's like, sometimes you do just have to quit. And that's true. Like, sometimes you get to quit and sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be like a good team.
For sure. Morgan also had a substance abuse problem in college.
Yeah.
So, like, that's...
I don't think that'll apply for the first couple of years, hopefully.
No, God, no. But, you know, I really, really want our kiddo to genuinely feel like they can trust us with any information that they wouldn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
At all. We would much rather they be safe, you know.
Drive 3 hours to come get you from a party than...
Yeah. Which my parents always told me, but you know...
You were never,
I wasn't up to anything.
You weren't driving anyway.
That's true. And they need a parent who is like, hey, I didn't get my license until I was 22.
Yeah.
So if you're really stressed out about it, something that helped me was antidepressants.
Yeah.
And we've already got you in therapy because of who we are as people, you know? So, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. What are our feelings on donor involvement?
Just generally or for us?
I think for
I was going to say, I don't have...
us.
I don't think we get to have an opinion generally.
No.
Because we're not donor conceived.
No. Yeah.
For us, I think it's up to... first of all, I feel like it should generally be up to the donor, I guess.
Yeah.
And I feel like the donor is like... I don't know. I'm excited to see him be like a fun like babysitter who like hangs out with our kid.
Yeah.
You know, he'll definitely, I think, be there the day the baby's born. Not like in the room or anything, but probably later that night.
Yeah.
Unless he, you know, is busy.
Right.
And then he'll say, sorry, bro, I'll be there later, LOL.
Oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry.
Sunglasses emoji.
Yeah. When we told him that Morgan was pregnant the first time, he was like, sick, my swimmer's work.
Yeah.
And then go back to looking up hats on eBay.
He's looking at hats on eBay.
It's like, you fucking dumbass. Which is exactly why he's not a parent, you know.
Yeah.
He would be great, you know.
Oh, I think if he
somebody
wanted to be
else,
a parent,
but
he'd
not
be totally
not
fine.
a part of
But he's not currently interested in being a parent and doesn't foresee being interested, so.
No, or for our baby, obviously. Yeah, I would say our donor is lovely, and a dumbass, and like the perfect person to do that. And you know,
we have a lot of love for this person. They have a lot of love for us.
Yeah, which is fun and fresh.
They will be around for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we're really gonna have opinion on donor involvement in other cases, and I think the thing that's hard is that like, whenever anyone is like, you need to do this thing this one way, it's because they're trying to like speak.
They're trying to warn their past selves.
They're trying to warn their past selves or their past parents, or they're trying to like speak from their own trauma and experience. But especially, I would say, with like content creators, like you have no idea what they're actually doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I mean, these are all things that we are actually doing, but like if you just see that there are content creators who are like doing, like they're not using a live donor, they're using frozen sperm, that is the only information you have about that. You have no idea like what their other circumstances
also,
are.
like their frozen sperm could literally be like someone they really did know back in the day who like died, or like, you know what I mean? Like there are people who freeze their eggs because they like don't want to get pregnant right now, but like these are their prime time eggs, you know, and so they use them again, like, you know what I mean? Like you don't know.
Absolutely. The things that we've heard from the donor conceived community are essentially that like, you know, it's best to have a known donor. But it just depends on the circumstances, and also, I don't know, there's so many different things. You should look into all of it, and it's really important to hear the experiences of people.
I was gonna say, we don't get to talk for the donor conceived community.
No, we don't get to speak for any of those people. So yeah. Okay. And then we had, how do you plan a queer life without representation? I think they mean like, how are we doing what we're doing?
We're just winging it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know if that helps.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question, and like I don't. It's not a bad question. It's a good question.
No, yeah.
I don't know how to answer it though. Like,
No.
Like representation is so important.
Right. I think we're trying to be that representation for people.
Yeah, we're just trying to be the representation.
But we also don't want everybody to feel like they have to be just like us.
No, everybody's so different. I think the other thing is like while I love like seeing like representation is so important, like being queer isn't our only identifiers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we are also like I'm a plus size person. I am a person with religious trauma. Like so I see myself represented in a lot of different ways, even though I haven't seen a lot of like queer representation. Does that make sense?
That kind of sounds like a cis privilegey type thing to say.
Oh, that's true.
But I am hearing you. But, you know, I don't think I think for us, I think that was kind of like the fun part of like our relationship in this life that we've built is that like we are creating the rules as we're going along.
Yeah.
So we're just taking whatever works for us and leaving behind things that don't.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I think that's all I was saying is I'm taking bits and pieces
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think you were being like
Oh,
shitty.
no.
At all.
I suppose. You said it better. But yeah, like, you know, I'm taking the like, you know, goofiness of Jessica Day and the like I don't know.
The perpetual sleepover vibes of her and Nick Miller.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't think of any other show than New Girl right now, which is funny because I haven't watched it in a long time.
So long.
But, that's where all my examples are coming from today.
Oh my God.
You know, like, it doesn't have to, at least for me, I guess, it doesn't have to be representation in, like, how I look or exist. It's just, like, maybe something I want to like attain or maybe something I want to...
I think I have no idea like what the age of this person was, but the person who I imagine asking this question is like me at 14 years old. Like, wow, like where did you find the framework to do this? You know what I mean? And like we didn't. And that's what I want anyone who's asking this question.
No, I guess you're right.
Is that like
we're just winging it.
We're literally just making shit up as we go along. And yeah, it's just a lot of, I would say for us in our relationship, just like a shit ton of over communication.
Yeah. Also, there's not any like hard and fast like rules really. As long as like you're two adults who are consenting. Yeah. You can make it up. You can put your bed in the living room. You can have no bed if you don't want to.
Yeah. That sounds bad for your back, but you know.
You can just have a trampoline in your living room. There's no rules.
Should we get a trampoline?
There's no room.
You're right.
I would say my biggest hacks, if you want to be successful as a queer couple, you should get a king-size bed.
Well, did you not know? So there's a queer couple on TikTok, and they don't ever come up on my page, and I think it's because they like heavily identify as lesbians, and they're like thin and white, and so almost nothing about, they're both like very like, what's it called? Not naturally beautiful, conventionally attractive. Mm-hmm. So like I have very little in common with them, but they have like, there's like an argument that was like a joke, that they got a king size bed, and so then now they're like in a fight because like they're not like touching as much while they're sleeping, and so like their fans were like, oh my God, this couple is like breaking apart. I cannot fucking be touched when I sleep. I'll just tell you right now. Absolutely not. Cannot relate to that experience in the slightest.
I would say my other hack is just over communicating.
Yeah.
As we've said several times.
Yeah.
As we've over communicated to you.
Yeah. As we say,
our 6 viewers. But yeah. And then also just like, you know, like, yeah, you don't see a lot of like plus size, you know, non-binary queer couples out there being like famous, but you do see like a lot of two people in love having good time, and now you could be that in your own font. Yeah, that's a role you get to fill
for somebody else. You could even make content about it if you wanted to. Yeah, because you are special and important.
Just pretend that you're the main character until you are.
Yeah. That's what Morgan did, and look where she's at now.
Look where I am now. Just try and ignore me.
Take that.
Take that. My parents.
But in seriousness, we're very lucky.
Yeah, we're just really privileged, and you know, we have a ton of just like good luck, good vibes.
Morgan's very funny. We've got a lot of love and support from strangers on the internet
very
like
tall.
you. Thank you. which is great, you know.
Yeah.
You think the hair tallness is doing
I
something?
think that's helped.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that.
Yeah.
Hearing that.
We've got, you know, a great support system with Phoebe's family and then
Yeah.
my siblings, so.
Yeah. Yep. My siblings are cool. We got some really close friends here. Yeah. I think that's like it.
That's it. It's time for us to eat our din din.
Ooh.
So we will see you soon. Hopefully we'll try to make YouTube videos, you know, more often. It's also hard when we
see.
work 40 hours a week and
We'll
then
see.
we also stream on Twitch. If you don't watch us on Twitch, we're very funny.
I would say our most consistent place where we hang out is on Twitch. And it's, again, also my favorite on account of we get to talk live with all of our friends.
Instead of just to each other.
Instead of just
like
to
we
each
do
other.
all day.
And people can ask clarifying questions and we can have them.
We
And
can
there
clarify them.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
Okay.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, my friends.
Thank you for listening.